the Plumbing and HVAC Internet Marketing Show. Discover how to market your plumbing or HVAC business online. From SEO and PPC to Google Maps, reputation management, and social media marketing, we share the ideas and strategies to get your phone ringing, trucks running, and business booming.
Well, hey, this is Josh Nelson, and welcome to this episode of the Plumbing and HVAC Marketing Profits Podcast. Today, I'm super excited. We're going to be interviewing Lucas Cellino. They run a full-service plumbing HVAC company based in the Buffalo, New York market. Amazing interview. Share some insights on how when he joined the company, he doubled down on internet marketing, website, SEO, pay-per-click, social media. He's seeing a 35% growth year over year in his business. One of the quotes I really love from this, you'll hear it in the interview, but he says he really considers their company to be a marketing company that also does plumbing. Amazing insights here. Check it out.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Allison, and I am interviewing Luke for our Engage newsletter and our webinar. And so, Luke, you are the president over at Cellino Plumbing in Buffalo, New York. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm 28 years old. Cellino Plumbing, we're located in Buffalo, New York, born and raised. Live in Buffalo, you gotta like the Buffalo Bills. We're 30 minutes away from Canada, so big hockey fans here. I grew up playing hockey, lacrosse, football. I have a German Shepherd. He comes to work with me every day. He's on our trucks, and I guess hobbies. I guess my hobby is working. Really, that's my main hobby.
Okay. How does a 28-year-old who really loves sports end up, co-owning a plumbing company?
Yeah. So my father started the company 25 years ago. And I like to tell everybody that when we started, my father, he started the business when I was about 2 or 3. And I grew up in the living room. Instead of having Legos, we had plumbing fittings. So I would go and kind of put, the black nipples into different fittings and just kind of play around with them. And it really just evolved from there. So whenever you play hockey, it's really involved. So it'd be, you're on a couple teams. And I was a goalie myself, but we would go, practice at 6 a.m., then you'd have a game later, 10 a.m. or something between. So my father being a small business owner, he would drive me to hockey practice. In between practices, I'd go to work with him. So I would holding the flashlight and all that. So that was really the start of it. So I've always been involved. I always wanted to be a plumber. It's always been my dream, never wanted to do anything else. I always enjoyed fixing things.
Awesome. So you were walking in your father's footsteps.
Yeah. My father, the story really goes back to when did my father get started. My father was, if you're from the area or even in New York, you'd recognize the name Cellino and Barnes. So Cellino is my uncle, and my grandfather actually started the law firm. But my father, when he was about 17, he had a bunch of older brothers. They were all doctors, lawyers, everything else. My father was more hands-on, and certainly wasn't as book smart as those guys, but could fix anything, could solve any problem. And one day his father complained about how much the plumber charged. So I think he was about 16 at that point, and he went to trade school, worked for another plumber for 8 years and got his licensing, and he started the company there.
Great. And so how many trucks are you guys currently running?
So we have about 23, 24 trucks right now. It's a mix of plumbing, heating and cooling is rather new to us, and then we have a separate underground division. Okay,
and so when you became the co-owner with your dad, was it already at 23, or did you help grow him to that size?
Yeah, so I pretty much took over as general manager, and this is where the marketing really kicked in when I was about 20, so about 8 years ago. What happened was we were just hurting financially. I think we had maybe 7 employees altogether at the time.
Okay.
And we were getting rid of our office manager, and I was like, okay, well, what duties does she do? What do I need to, what can I try and fill in and do? So the first duty was payroll. So I'm like, okay, I'm pretty good at math, pretty good with Excel. I can certainly figure out the payroll structure. The other 2 were, one was the website and one was social media. Those were, the 3 jobs that my father wasn't taking over. So 8 years ago, the website was important. It certainly isn't as important as it was today. But, I didn't know anything about really SEO at this point. So I started off just redesigning the website, trying to keep up on it, and that's where I got really engulfed in SEO pay-per-click.
Definitely. And so since then, that's where you've seen that, exponential growth, obviously.
Yeah. We've last 3 years we're growing 35% revenue year over year. So I'd say the last 4 or 5 years have been by far our heaviest growth stage. When people ask, what attributes most to that, I always tell them, number one, the construction industry is just booming anywhere you go. So if you're not growing right now, you're doing something a little wrong. However, there are companies that just aren't with it, and marketing. I like to tell people we're a marketing company that also does plumbing. So even though I'm the president of the whole company now, I'm also the leader in our strategic planning, which is our operations, but also our marketing, which is a separate division. So we have a small marketing team in-house at Cellino Plumbing.
Definitely. And so, being your account manager, I've worked with you for almost 2 years at this point, actually probably a little over 2 years. And so I've worked with Allie, Olivia for a little while. And so I know how important it is to work so closely with your staff when we're, talking about all of your marketing efforts. Can you maybe talk a little bit about how important it is to maybe even have a staff like that? Or when, at what point in the growth did you say, okay, now I need to hire someone to help me not only externally, but I need to hire someone internally to help me with the external?
Yeah, so even as a small company, somebody's always playing the marketing functions, right? So even when we were seven employees, even though it wasn't our only job, the office manager was essentially our marketing, somebody in-house doing marketing. So you're always going to have that person in-house, at least playing some sort of a role. But when I took it from there, I did it for a few years. I never did any coding, so I never did any actual SEO work. So when I started doing that, I would start subbing that out. Start off subbing it out to smaller guys. I'd kind of design the website on paper. This is what I want it to look like. Can you design it? Okay, have a different guy code it. So that went on for a while. Then just the amount of people that started pushing SEO and starting trying to get into SEO and pay-per-click, it became more evident that we needed somebody that does this all the time, every day. So as far as when we started subbing out to plumbing and HVAC SEO was, like you said, maybe 2.5 years ago. And that's made a big change. As far as somebody on staff, to do marketing correctly, I'd say everything's marketing, right? The technician pulling up to the house marketing. So training those technicians to do the right thing, sticker the water heaters and everything else, that's so valuable.
Yeah.
So having somebody in-house, it doesn't, marketing can be such a broad term. How you define it is really, can be really different, and what that entitles.
Definitely. And so you just mentioned a little bit about training. Can you speak to maybe how you guys train your staff as well as your technicians in your office, your CSRs, and how important that is to even seek outside training organizations to do and to help you?
Yeah, first of all, me as a 28-year-old, president of the company, I get a lot of help, right? There's tons. I have 2 business coaches I work with in particular, and they just help guide me. They're much more adverse with different things. So me personally, I have my own coach. As far as our system, we have a service manager for plumbing, we have a service manager for heating and cooling, and service manager for underground. So everything kind of goes through there, and they manage all the techs underneath them. What we do that's really unique is when a new helper comes in, anybody that comes in our company reports to the warehouse. So we have a warehouse manager that's just really good, and they start off, they train, we use Service Time, so they start off training Service Time. We're a Nexstar company, so you train some Nexstar, and they get everybody just kind of affiliated with what this company is already about. So even if we hired like a licensed plumber, they'll go work underneath the warehouse manager for about 2 weeks before they go into a division. Otherwise, if it's somebody brand new, they work underneath the warehouse, and the warehouse guy will still send them out on different jobs with different managers. He coordinates with the dispatcher to kind of see where people go. But having those new guys come in and have just a direct contact that's easy to get along with, easy to kind of figure out what's going on, that has a lot of capacity, that's always at the shop, is made a huge difference for us bringing new talent and getting them trained.
Awesome. That's amazing. And so, with 23 trucks, you guys are, I guess, at that point training a lot and pretty often. What are your plans for the rest of the year? Do you see yourselves growing into another truck, maybe another 2?
Yeah, right now we got 4 apprentices starting later in this month. So we're really bulking up. With those trucks, we are so undermanned. It's painful. But yeah, we're certainly planning on growing. So HVAC is newer to us. We've really only been doing it well for about 3 to 4 months. We started about 2 years ago. It took until we got the right guy leading that division for it to start to take off. So HVAC, we're now doing about 100,000 in revenue each week. And that's just phenomenal for being new. So even HVAC, we're looking to bring on, 3 installers for the winter here.
Wow. Okay. Congratulations on that growth. I know that we are currently in the process of actually rebranding the name all over the internet to Cellino Plumbing and HVAC. So that's exciting. And so with that growth, it obviously comes from a lot of hard work and a lot of dedicated staff. So is there anything that you guys do that you may think is a little bit special for people to stay with you long term?
Everything. Yeah, no, I think the one thing that we do is, about 4 years ago, we went through a major culture change. And what we did is we created a mission statement that's real simple. It's just 3 lines. Everyone has a mission statement, but unless you live by that mission statement, it's useless, right? Mm-hmm. So we created a mission statement that created 5 values. The mission statement is we want to be the company that customers want to refer, where employees love to work, and that makes a positive difference in the community. So what we do to ensure that we're reaching that is we have metrics set for each of those lines in that mission statement. So the first one, where customers want to refer, we use an NPS score. We check how many reviews we got. We do quality checks. We ensure that our quality is good and that our customer service is good. Where customers love to work, we use an app or a program called 2 Days Mood. Basically just ask all of our employees twice a week to fill out 3 simple questions. And it just ensures that there's workplace happiness. And then we're making a positive difference in the community. We have a really unique marketing plan that involves donating back to the community. So we measure what we're doing in the community pretty much just with dollars donated. That's the basic metric. We have a few other metrics for all those, but those are our top ones.
That's awesome. Those are great integrations that you've put into your business model. The Wings for Hope that happened a year ago, that was pretty cool. And for anybody listening, what Cellino does, he actually does a giveaway where you wrap the entire truck to match the community that the organization and the community that won. So how do you see that actually working as far as, do you see a return on investment, or is that just really for community outreach?
Yeah, so the hardest thing is always, especially now with like pre-roll and all these other new ways of advertising, is getting good metrics down. Even pre-roll, there's YouTube and Facebook. They're both pre-roll, but they both have totally different metrics. You shouldn't see the same view rate. There's all just because of how you can skip it. So figuring out the good metrics to measure is always a key. I always think that I'm good at marketing because I'm process minded. I'm statistic minded. That I know what metrics I want. I know what we need to find, and then process. It's less ideas and more process. But as far as a truck wrap, so the idea was that we would this was actually our second year doing it. So it came from a March Madness type of standpoint where the college. I never watched basketball, but I watch basketball once a year, and that's during March Madness, college basketball. And I just like the bracket. I like competition. I get pretty into that. I fill out my bracket and try and pick everything. So, everybody kind of has this cool bracket thing. I was just thinking, what can we do with that? And we always donated to nonprofits, but we never did anything big. And I guess what I wanted to really do, what was success to me, is if I can, whatever amount of money we donate, justify that in advertising expense. But what we ended up doing is the bracket. So originally we thought we'd do 32 brackets, and that we would have all these nonprofits in there and basically just open up voting to the community to pick who won. And whoever won that nonprofit, we'd wrap the truck with their logo. It'd be their colors. We still have our logo and everything on there, but it'd mostly be for that nonprofit.
Right.
And in turn, we would donate 5% of that truck's revenue every month to that nonprofit for 1 year. So the first year winner was Wings Flights of Hope. Basically, they'll fly kids anywhere around the country to different medical facilities. And the owner there, what was shocking to me, I guess, was he was more excited about the truck being wrapped with his logo going around town than the actual money that we were donating to him. he just valued that so much.
I mean, one check to them obviously is impactful, but when you get a branding opportunity and a free truck that drives around the entire city with their branding, I mean, that of course that pays off in the long run.
Sure. Yeah. So as far as stats, I mean, we started off, we thought we'd open up to 32 nonprofits, hoping we'd be able to fill that bracket. We had, over 1,000 nonprofits nominated. So we quickly opened that, year one up to 64 brackets. And I don't know the exact amount of votes offhand, but when we look at our charts on our social media, we ran everything through Facebook. One of our other goals was to increase our social media presence. Just trying to be intimate with customers nowadays is a little bit more difficult unless you're using social media correctly. So that was one of our goals as well. So driving traffic to our Facebook page was key, and we were able to do that with this. Again, I wish I had the stats. I would be happy to share it with you guys later.
Yeah.
Year two, after we did the first truck rep, we seen so much success. So we said, well, we need to carry on this momentum instead of just doing it once a year. So we then opened up a nonprofit of the month every month. And so there's voting on our page. It's for the first few days. It's right now it's in the stage 2. So it starts off nominate whoever you want. That goes to the top 10. You check box that, and that winner gets nominated. What we do is there's a local TV station that does an interview with them once a month. So the winner, we donate $500. Then we throw a happy hour for them. And then that bar, donates back. Now what's happened is this has turned into more than just the Cellino Plumbing nonprofit month. We now have 5 other companies also contributing to this nonprofit.
That's amazing. So you're definitely impacting the community, and you're inspiring other people to join you. So that helps you in the long run. That's not a return on investment that you see up front, but that is a branded name that all of your neighbors will soon know if they don't already know Cellino Plumbing. So that's fantastic. Congratulations.
Thanks.
So is there any little bit of information that you want to give to anybody who may be listening, whether that's a business owner, someone's taking over his father's his father's business, or anybody who may be just looking for any golden nuggets? I mean, everybody wants a business with 23 trucks. So how can you help them?
Yeah, that's tough. I know, one thing that we just discussed today is as we're growing so quickly, once you get in this high growth stage, you really need people that are focused on processes and not necessarily ideas. When you're growing quickly, you need more process minded people. So if you can always focus on the process, it's going to get to end result. Maybe it's not the best, cleanest idea, but at least a process that's efficient and effective. That'll certainly help, especially if you're in that heavy growth stage. Anybody that wants to grow, I know one of the big changes for us was getting involved with Nexstar. I'll be the first one that we don't utilize in the way we should, but they have great ideas. There's tons of people out there that can help you. They have good events. But getting our pricing in order was the very first thing we needed to become profitable. Nexstar lives by the idea of the big 5. So reviewing your financial statements and knowing where you stand, you got to know what your margins are. You got to know what percentage of your labor should be, what percentage of material should be on jobs. So definitely that would be probably the best advice I give is know your margins, know what you need to charge, know where you stand financially, and have a good vision to move forward.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for jumping on with us. I know that anybody listening, they got some great information from you. Congratulations on a growing account. I hope that we do get those additional trucks by the end of the year. And I can't wait to see what happens once we really fully launch Cellino Plumbing and HVAC. So that's exciting.
Yeah. Thanks again, Allison. Definitely appreciate the help. And it's been a pleasure working with you and Josh.
Awesome.
Well, I hope you got amazing value from that interview. If you'd like more ideas, strategies, and techniques on how to more effectively market your plumbing, HVAC, or home services business online, go to plumbingmarketing.net. There you'll find interviews just like this and the opportunity to schedule a time with us to just kind of talk about your business and how we can help you implement similar strategies in your business. So plumbingmarketing.net, head over there now, and I'll talk to you soon.